After 60, you start to realise something uncomfortable. It's just a feeling you start to get. You've spent years giving your time, your energy, your attention to things that never really mattered at all. I'm not talking about regret. No, it's not regret. It's something else. It's clarity. And clarity is one of the few advantages that I think comes with age. But here's the problem. No one really tells you what to stop. So in this video, I'm going to share 7 things that in my experience become a complete waste of time after 60. I'll also share what has replaced them for me. Because this stage of life isn't about doing more, it's about doing less, but better. Number 1, competing with other people. Everything used to feel like a scoreboard. School, work, money, status, you know the type of thing I mean? And for a long time, that made absolute sense. I was trying to keep my head above water, swimming in shark-infested waters without getting eaten. Hell, I wanted to be a shark, and I worked hard to get there. But somewhere in my 40s, after the death of my father, something shifted. I didn't want to win anymore. I wanted to get out of the water. The problem is, when you stay in that game, you see other people with a bigger house, better car, more money, even a better retirement on paper. And for a moment, you feel left behind. But if you're honest, you don't even want what they have. I felt this myself. And when that realization lands, competing starts to feel pointless. What replaced this for me? I stopped measuring my life against other people. Not just that, I started measuring it against my own peace of mind. Am I calmer than I was? More content? More grounded? More myself? If the answer is yes, you're doing better than you think. Number 2, defining yourself by what you did. For years, your identity is tied to your work. It's how you introduce yourself. I'm a recruiter. I'm an accountant. I'm a doctor. It's how other people understand you. And then one day, that chapter ends. Someone asks, "So what do you do?" And you hesitate because the old answer no longer fits. I went through this in my 50s and I realised something important. If your identity is built on what you did, you lose yourself when it stops. What replaced this for me? I stopped trying to label myself and started focusing on how I live, what I'm curious about, what I'm building, what I care about. My 50s were a time of experimenting. Business advisor, business coach, peer group chairman, and now a YouTuber. But none of those things are my identity, because who you are is far bigger than what you did. Number 3, finishing things that no longer matter. I was taught this: finish what you start, don't quit, push through. So I did, finishing books I wasn't enjoying, watching TV series that I'd lost interest in, sticking with projects that stopped mattering months ago, even years ago. Why? Just so I could say, I finished. But after 60, you start to see the trade. You're actually trading your time for things that you don't even care about. I fell into something called the sunk cost fallacy, hanging in there because it might get better. And you know what? It never did. Yeah, right. At some point, you realise that's not discipline at all. Nothing like it. What it is, it's fear. Fear of failure. Fear of what people think. Fear of the consequences. What replaced this for me? Permission to stop, to walk away, not quitting, just recognising at long last that it's no longer worth my time. Because time is now your most valuable asset. And once it's gone, trust me, it's gone. It is not coming back. Number 4, doing things out of obligation. How many things do you do, not because you really want to do them, but because you feel like you should? Family events, social commitments, favours for friends. You say yes when you really want to say no. And it's not because you're kind, but because you don't want to disappoint people. I've been there. I still am sometimes, but far less than I was before. Because over time, you notice something. Obligation creates resentment, even when it looks like kindness. What replaced this for me? Choice and discipline. If I do something now, it's because I genuinely want to, or because I've consciously decided it's the right thing to do, not because I feel trapped. My 95-year-old Uncle Archie was recently in hospital for a month. I visited him 2 or 3 times a week. I didn't do this because I enjoyed it, but because it was the right thing to do. If not me, then who? Good news is he's back home now, frailer, but hanging in there. There's nothing enjoyable about those visits. It's a stark reminder of what might come. Number 5, needing to be right. This one wastes more energy than almost anything else. Arguments, debates, online, in person, just trying to prove a point to someone who's already made up their mind. It's a waste of your time. Most people aren't looking for truth. They're looking to win. And if you step into that game, you don't win. You just waste your time. What replaced this for me? Peace. Not every opinion needs defending. Not every conversation needs finishing. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing. Number 6, tolerating draining people. You know exactly who I mean. The people who leave you feeling tired after every interaction with them. The ones who take but rarely give. Sometimes that's your relatives. Sometimes it's friends. Sometimes it's work colleagues. They're not always bad people. That's not what this is about. But they are expensive. And after 60, you realise you can't afford that cost because your energy is limited. And when it's drained, everything else just suffers. I became far more aware of this in my 60s, especially after a period of ill health. All sorted now. Thanks for asking. I'm much more selective about who I spend time with and very comfortable being on my own. If anything, I prefer it. Long solo walks. I love them. What replaced this for me? Protecting my energy. Spending time with people who are positive, reciprocal, just easy to be around. People who energize, not drain. Number 7. Expecting people to change. This is one of the hardest lessons. You believe if you explain things clearly enough, if you're patient enough, if you give it time, people will change. But most of the time, they don't. And holding on to that expectation keeps you stuck in frustration, in disappointment, in hope that never, ever quite delivers. At some point, you have to see people as they really are, not as you wish they were. What replaced this for me? Acceptance. Not approval, not lowering standards, just simple clarity. This is who they are, and then you can decide for yourself. Can I live with that? Do I adjust my expectations, or do I create some distance? That's where peace really starts. Not in changing them, but in seeing them clearly. So those are 7 things that for me have become a complete waste of time after 60. And letting go of them, it doesn't make life smaller. Quite the opposite. It makes it lighter, more focused, and a hell of a lot more intentional, because this stage of life isn't about filling your time, it's about protecting it. So I'm curious, which one of these are you done with? Let me know in the comments. I really would like to hear your opinion. And if this resonated with you, watch this next video because it goes even deeper on this topic. It's about the life goals that stop mattering after 60. And there's one more thing that I'd like to mention to you. If this way of thinking also resonates with you, this idea of being more intentional about how you live after 60 rather than just drifting through life, I've quietly started a small membership community on here called Second Act Circle. It's for people who want to think a little bit more deeply about this stage of life and make clearer, more deliberate choices about how they spend their time. It's early and it's intentionally small. No pressure at all, but if you're curious, there's a link below, or you'll find the join button next to the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you next time.